I see that we're live. You're not kidding me.
Damn it. I wanted this to be as unprofessional as possible.
Oh, well, you guys can find out if I finish the story. So these things come in like 96 or 98 parts, these Bionicle toys. And he had 7 of them. He's like, Uncle Jason, you're good with puzzles. I'm like, yeah, I am good with puzzles. Goes, can you make this for me? It's like, son of a bitch. Yep, I got this. And then he drops them like all on the table. And I was like, I'm going to be here forever. Don't you have a father?
Skillful puzzles.
Yeah, so the first one, I finally finished it. It's wrapped in like, there's like 96 parts, literally 96 pieces. I build it. He goes walking in the other room to show his cousin, my nephew, or no, he's my cousin, his whatever, family man sucks. And he runs into a flying jump kick that not only hits him in the chest, but pushes the Bionicle into his chest. It explodes. And I spent like 90 minutes on this fucking thing.
Yeah.
I was like, man, and I got 6 to go. Now I got 7 to go. Oh, this is gonna suck.
So the Halo ones that I have to build for my son, they're Mega Blocks. So they're the freaking cheap knockoffs of Lego. At least Lego is done to specific dimensions and that they all work with each other. They all go together. They lock pretty tight and they stay together pretty well. Mega Blocks will fall apart if you look at them wrong.
It needs a shim.
And it's just, he keeps getting this one it's like a mech. So you build it, it's like 5 times the size as the normal little Halo figurines, and you can fit one of them inside this mech, like as a pilot. And I have to build them. They take about an hour to build. They're really cool. I mean, they're, whatever, but they're just so flimsy that it lasts about 5 seconds with him because he destroys everything.
Not cool.
He's a guy.
Ooh.
Ah,
Robot. Mr. Roboto. Domo arigato.
I'm telling you, the AI bots are getting smarter.
They've
Yeah,
impersonated a Cajun. That's weird.
And, too. Yeah, I was about to say, they have a bit of an accent, too.
Not a very good one, though, for some reason.
It's not real thick.
Yeah. I had a Three Musketeers bar earlier, so I went ahead and tagged Stan in that post. That's the whole post. I had a Three Musketeers bar. It was kind of sweet, but I liked it. Yeah,
there he is.
And speak of the devil.
Look, I'm an old man. I got to go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Look.
I feel you, my brother. I feel you. I had to go buy reading glasses today. Now, I don't necessarily need the reading glasses, but I found that it's much easier to read with them.
All right. 2 years ago, my glasses were changed to bifocals. Okay, so trust me, you're getting older all the time. Criminy. I wake up every day, something else is sore.
Yeah, I feel you.
The curse, of being, as Jay Fry likes to put it, I was at Jesus' prom.
I never said that.
That's we do need to get
Jesus' bar mitzvah.
No, I said Stan's mom took Jesus to prom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I said that to my grandma once. It was like John McCain told you know who's John McCain's mom took to prom? She says who? I go, Jesus. Like, yeah. She didn't find that funny at all.
I wonder why.
Mostly because John McCain's 2 years younger than her. No, she's not. What is he, like 81 now? Oh shit, he is. My grandma's. No, she's 80. Never mind. I can see why she's still pissed though.
I'm pretty sure John McCain's in his 80s.
Yeah, like 80, 81, 82. What? Fuck.
He's 80, but there were some hard years in there. So he's actually, if you want to talk about McCain years, he's probably 103.
Yeah, his arms were up. He has very limited movement in his arms because he gave up so much during the war.
I don't want to talk too bad. I don't like the man. Now, I got to say that. He's my senator, and I do not like the man, but I will not bag on him for being a prisoner of war. I'll bag on his dad because his dad caused it, but, I won't bag on him.
You get bag on the Bushes. Prescott founded Planned Parenthood with Margaret Sanger. With Nazi gold.
The fact that that's true is what's troublesome. So, Stan, good stream.
Stay here.
Well done.
I'll catch you later.
Nerd.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was episode 93. Cupid was the episode with for some reason why Q is Robin Hood. I don't know why it was called Cupid.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I've got to take issue with the question of do you want a transporter or a replicator? They are the same freaking thing, sir.
Not really.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, they use the exact same technology. A replicator just goes to the stores of resources, and that's why you're limited to what you can get because it's limited by the resources that are on board. But it just transports those resources in a new configuration down into that little container.
Yep. Yeah, so every time you get transported, you actually die.
I'm a proponent of that theory.
I am too.
Your consciousness stream ends every time you're transported.
Well, then your conscious stream begins every time you're transported.
Correct, but it begins with every memory you ever had up until the point that you were transported.
Fucking DARPA.
It is
Nerds.
technically you. It is a direct copy of you, but it is not in essence you.
Yeah, I wasn't that nerd into it. I just although it does McCoy does have a a point about it ripping you apart at your cellular level and putting you back together. So it could be understandably fucking frightening situation.
Well, hey Stan, are you a proponent of DS9?
Yeah, I didn't mind DS9.
Then why don't you get Rebecca to freaking watch it?
Okay, have you listened to Rebecca?
Yeah,
Okay.
She's slightly spaced out. Yes.
Well, she's what they call a little, shall we say, pig-headed sometimes in certain things.
Yeah, she won't watch it now because we keep telling her to.
Oh, exactly. Now it's just a point,
right?
But I am decidedly not a proponent of Voyager. Catherine Janeway is, quite frankly, the
worst captain in
ever.
Existence, yes.
By just, I mean, she seems more Vulcan than the Vulcans. I mean, she's just
terrible.
She is just fucking awful, and it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. She's just awful.
I thought that had the black guy.
It had the black Vulcan.
He was the Vulcan, yeah.
No, the black captain.
Surprised
or
everybody.
the black leader.
That's DS9.
That's DS9.
That's Cisco. That's DS9.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about DS9.
Well, we switched.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, they're all concurrent.
Cisco has. I mean, he was good, but he has his own problems. He was a bit sometimes of an over actor. Just a tad.
Made him human.
But no, I didn't mind DS9 at all.
I found it unplausible that there'd be a black guy in charge.
Yeah, so did they halfway through the series too. So much so
I've
that they
seen
made
our
episodes
Navy.
about racism about it.
There's not a single black captain in our Navy. Not a lot of black astronauts either, so I don't see how this could come to fruition either way.
Hey, there was one in Species. That's the ones that matter.
Well, that's science fiction. The science fiction was the black guy in space.
Damn it.
Wasn't Rhodes in Iron Man a captain? He was a captain in the Air Force.
He was an Air Force captain. He wasn't a boat captain.
A captain in the Navy and the
Air Force is very different, I know.
Yeah, there's
Chair Force, man. Come on.
I know. It is the chair force.
captains in the Navy and presumably Starfleet are basically colonels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is welcome to the Gun Club, Stan. We talk about guns a lot and just whatever else. I mean, it's like Rover time. It's like Bizarro World Rover time. It's basically what this is.
All right.
Except we don't have two bastards who are wrong about everything. Oh my God, I'm going to tell you about this show.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Between Lex and Crow,
Yeah, I know.
I've gone through two phones. It's between the strangling my phone and the spittle flying out of my mouth when they talk about anything. Like, I get it, they're earbuds and everything, and I got buds who are wrong too.
Slow down. I am. Yeah, no,
Raggle's playing with his Browning.
Again. Yeah, I just love playing with it.
Giggity?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Those
I'm gonna mute myself.
seem to be that whatever you're going to say, he has to take a completely opposite position, no matter how fucking ridiculous it is. And it generally is ridiculous because he will literally from week to week counter his own, like literally invalidate something he said the previous week. I'm like, didn't you say last week that this was the thing?
Yeah.
No, that was somebody else. I mean, I know I'm old and forgetful, but I'm pretty fucking sure I remember that shit correctly.
I almost hopped on the Easter stream just to yell at Crow for being an idiot. Who was the guy who picked a fight with Roaming when she came on about the
Lex.
That was Lex, yeah, about the stupidity. Like, who wouldn't want a freaking tablet from the government just to use for the government and nothing else? Everyone would.
Okay. I was driving home from a trip, and I'm in the car, like you just said, I am screaming at my phone, and I'm like, where's the goddamn link to this fucking call? Because first of all, he shushes her, one. Then number two, he starts, which I was infuriated about, and then he starts talking about, he's like, well, if you give them tablets, more people will want to get off of social services because they won't want to go through all the stuff of filling it out in the tablet themselves. I'm like, are you fucking serious, dude? If you're going to tell people who are on social services they don't have to fucking leave their house and they can still get their services, they will sit their asses on the couch and play with that pad until they get their money all day fucking long. You'll actually see more people. I just, oh my God, and the reason I have this because I was screaming it in my fucking car. If anyone drove by, I'd be like, we need to get the cops. This guy is literally raging at something or someone is going to get killed. I was furious listening to that. I'm like, so you're telling me it's like, okay, person on social service, you don't have to get in the bus in the middle of winter or middle of summer, go riding and sitting in a freaking uncomfortable office all day. You could sit your ass on the couch with a free pad and figure it out. Yeah, that's going to get people off of the services. I think.
Remember how popular the Obama phones were back in 08 and 09? It'd be like that, but like worse.
Oh yeah,
everyone got one. If you had a food stamp card, you still got your Obama phone, no matter how shitty it was.
Yeah, that would be just a colossal. I'm like, I can't believe anyone would even think that would be better. Of course, I'm saying this from a state that is providing all of their inmates pads, which they allege is not going to be at the taxpayer expense. They're being donated, but I can guarantee what's going to happen with those is the company that's donating them is going to find some way. You know, if people want to send the inmates money, they're going to charge them a fucking ridiculous fee for it. And then people will be bitching about how this company is ripping off, these families. Mm-hmm. It's like, seriously, our school system, in general, at least, the city is fucking falling apart. But getting inmates pads, that's where we need to focus our freaking our efforts on. Yeah, that's fucking beautiful. Fuck you, New York City, fucking assholes.
Well, no,
Who really they run the city or they run the state?
Oh, absolutely, they run the state. Whatever they fucking, it's just
California. LA runs California too.
Yeah.
Anytime people talk about, well, New York votes this way. No, New York City votes this way. You look at the election map. The rest of the state is red. It's that, much like California, it's that big chunk of blue at the bottom that fucking decides how the rest of us got to live our lives.
How does Buffalo vote? Is Buffalo blue or is it red?
Buffalo tends to be a little bit of it has some blue, but it's not as dense as the city. There are, of course, there are any state. There's, there are pockets, but most of the freaking yuppies and shit, they aren't gonna live in Buffalo. It's too fucking cold.
True.
And if you're going to talk about guns, I don't know shit about guns. I have no problem.
You said you were going to get one, right? Are you still on that kick?
I am still on that thought process. Yes.
Because was I muted that whole time? Son of a bitch.
No, we were roboting out there a little bit, but
all right.
There's a little mom and pop store, sporting goods store here, which is where I would go, and the reason I know that they're they have a Trump sign in the window. So I'm like, okay, well, they support Second Amendment. Of course, the other option we have is dicks, so, I ain't fucking going there.
Right. Well, if it's any consolation, I'm probably closer to you in knowledge than I am to the rest of the guys here. These guys are nutty. Nutty.
Hey,
yeah, we are.
Speak for your fucking self.
I just did.
Fair enough.
I know
what I thought.
enough about guns, and I like them, and I like to take them out, and I like to shoot. But in comparison to what you guys can rattle off the top of your heads about different pieces and parts and models and stuff, man, I am nowhere near that caliber.
Guns rhyme with fun. I don't know what is so hard to understand about this.
Ooh, hang on.
But if you need an education, all three of these men will definitely school you at Harvard levels.
When I was a boy.
Back when I was a young man.
Hey, I'm seriously considering getting a $25 Patreon with Matt just so I can school him to buying his 1911.
Was that RoboCop blocker?
God damn it. Seriously? I'm still roboting?
Yep.
Well, hey, at least you got on the show on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true. No, I said I was considering getting a $25 patronage to Matt just so I can school him for an hour on why he fucked up buying his 1911.
That reminds me, I got to schedule my talk with him for April.
So what is your recommendation for someone who is obviously...
For someone who's new, a novice? Anything Striker-Fire, honestly. Just pick one that's comfortable. There's, like I said, I carry a Ruger, and there's Smith & Wesson, Glock, Springfield. FN makes a good one. There's a whole laundry list of them.
There is only Glock.
In J. Fry's mind, yes, there's only Glock. But
No,
I'm going to be Uncle Joe and say, get a shotgun. Fire both barrels in the air.
You can't conceal a shotgun. Not well.
Well, depends.
I know the guy in Columbine
Shorty
did it, but...
Well, it comes down to, Stan, do you want to carry or do you just want home defense?
Just home defense.
Then yes, buy a shotgun.
Yeah. Shotgun.
Remington 870.
There you
or
go.
Mossberg 500.
Yeah.
Remington. Well, you're just saying Remington because they're out on clearance now.
Pretty much, yes. And the quality's good. I mean,
I would take a Mossberg over a Remington any day.
But I gotta tell you, if you want a good semi-auto, get a Benelli M2. They are pretty damn good shooters.
I don't think Stan wants to spend that kind of money.
Probably not.
I'm just
and now, well, hang on. Does that have the easy flip over to full semi-auto? Yes, I'm
sure
kidding.
we can make it happen.
Yes, I'm kidding. Yes,
Dan wants your
joking.
full semi-auto with a shotgun.
I want my full semi-auto. Yeah, I actually was
Ooh.
talking with a very liberal friend of mine the other day, and he was telling me about the machine guns that are out and about and easy for purchase. And I'm like, okay, I'm stupid with guns, and I fucking know there's no fucking machine guns.
Well, there are. They're just
well,
really,
yes,
really
but not
expensive.
that you can go down and buy at Dick's.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I just sat there. I'm like, okay, yeah.
I know you guys can't hear it, but I'm crying on the inside at this statement.
Oh, trust me, this is the same guy that that said that we haven't spent one goddamn dime on the Russia investigation. I'm like, dude, we are going to have to not be friends because you are
We spent all the dimes on the Russian investigation.
We spent a lot. You're right. We haven't spent one goddamn dime. We have spent a fucking truckload of goddamn dimes.
Well, I think you misunderstood what Fraggle was saying. He's sad because you can't go buy a machine gun because that's what he wants to do.
I see. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so with them trying to get back, remember the gun ban, the 90s gun ban, whatever. They're trying to bring it back, but the whole reason that they let it expire is because they did studies and it didn't have any effect. Nobody's bringing that up.
I bought my AK-47 in 98.
It had a thumbhole stock, didn't it?
No, but it has no muzzle device.
No muzzle device?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that they don't tell you about. There was all sorts of weird, kooky little ways you could get around the assault weapons ban.
That's why the new one has stipulation that it has to have two, not just one or. So it's going to make it even tougher now.
Oh, I know.
But it was like $280 for this gun. And I'm like, that seems really cheap. And the guy pulls it out. He goes, no, and look. And he goes, because the only thing it doesn't have that some people do like, but it kind of becomes an issue, is the magazine crease. Like, but with some magazine creases, you can't load drum mags. So you either deal with a wiggle, or you spend an extra $300 for the magazine crease. So it doesn't have the dimples, but it'll run a drum mag, no problem.
Yeah, but do you really want to spend the money on buying a damn drum that may or may not work?
All of my Romanian ones work.
Oh, wait, you spent some money for them, probably.
I spent $75 to hold 73 bullets.
Yeah.
Buck around for each one to hold.
That's, yeah.
They are so freaking heavy. Ugh.
Yeah.
I can about
very impractical and terrible to carry on one's person. Yeah. It's like the U.S. military found out about this in, I don't know, World War II with the Thompson.
I still want a Thompson. Don't you hit on it.
Yeah, you say that until you actually, shoot one.
I have shot a Thompson, so they can fuck right off.
I still want it.
Now,
believe me, I want one too, but, I mean, it's like, not really.
How many are left?
Quite a few, actually. But they're just collectible is all. Mm-hmm. It's like, what was it, last year, maybe year before, they had the Chicago PD released a bunch of them from their vault. It's like 30 of them, or 20, something like that. All in impeccable condition, too, because they never went anywhere. Yeah. It's like one of those things that's a raid gun, so whenever they would raid the speakeasies and all that, otherwise, they just sat in the vault.
Yep.
For Al Capone's house.
For tax evasion.
We need Geraldo. He can find them for us.
Yep.
But the best part about Geraldo is when he gives the enemy the location of where they're hiding at.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of World War II guns, did y'all hear CMP is importing 100,000 M1 Garands from the Philippines?
I heard that, and I want to get one.
I want two.
Hopefully they're in really good condition, but knowing the Philippines, they probably won't be.
Oh yeah, I am fully prepared to rebarrel one. So,
Hey, what you making? Loud as fuck over there.
pasta, lasagna, actually.
Sounds
I have
un-American.
something. I have something in my on my watch later list. Says the MythBusters making lasagna in the dishwasher. I keep skipping over it, and I wonder why I even put it in there. But yeah, that's
Because it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like the MythBusters though because they don't actually do enough. They'll
They
try
do it.
one or two things and then they'll call it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I worked at a gas station. I literally saw a guy with the phone on his belt. It light up because he was receiving a call, and it set the fumes on fire. So when you say it's a myth, I saw it happen. This wasn't like this is the video you watch before you start working. It's a training video. This wasn't something I saw out of my eyes with my eyeballs and whatnot. It's a training video. There's records of it.
They know damn well that if you fill a plastic gas can in the back of a truck or not on the ground, that the static charge that builds up can ignite the fumes off that very gas can. That's a known thing. That's on every warning label. That the MythBusters don't think that a cell phone can generate enough of a charge to ignite fumes is just irresponsible.
And some of their gun stuff is insulting too. Some of it I do believe, but like a bullet can't shoot another bullet. I'm like,
we have historic proof
we have historic proof from World War I that shows that can happen.
Yeah.
Or a sniper rifle can't follow through the glass of an optic. I'm like, I've heard of that. I don't know if that's true or not. Well, but then, I see it happen, and it doesn't work out the way like the claim was, and I'm like, I don't know if I can trust you, motherfuckers.
Well, and then the thing about that episode, they were using modern optics, and supposedly, the fucking Koreans were using whatever they could get their hands on, which was, I don't know,
you talking
1800s.
about the Vietnamese? Because
Vietnamese. That's what I meant.
Yeah. They were saying it was the like it was a 2x7 or whatever, and I'm like, we basically use fixed 10 powers, so I don't know why you're doing a variable scope, which has a bunch of more working parts in it. But like, if you've got that claim, then shouldn't there be a frickin' picture?
Well, and the thing I came to the conclusion with was they're probably working on a limited budget, so once they burn it out, they're done. That's the end of the episode.
Okay, so which ones are we talking about? Are we talking Jamie and Adam, or are we talking the new guys who I've watched exactly once and suck balls?
Oh no, the old ones.
Yeah, the one I was watching had all 5 of them.
Yeah, so it wasn't the new ones. Let's cling on to our fame somehow, in other words, on the new one.
I don't know what it is, but Elton Brown, I've been watching a lot of his stuff lately, and he's always sucking up to the MythBusters. Because his daughter likes the MythBusters, so he's always mentioning them in like every episode I see of him on YouTube. I'm like, no one cares.
Well, he also modeled Good Eats after the MythBusters. It was like the MythBusters, but the Food Network version.
I don't know about that. I'll have to check dates because Good Eats ran for like 13 years.
I like Good Eats. It's a good show.
Yeah.
I wish they would move away from these stupid competition shows and go back to stuff like that, because that's infinitely more watchable than the fucking was it?
You know
Chopped?
what competition
Chopped
show
sucks.
that I didn't mind on like TLC that was actually somewhat interesting was Junkyard Wars. I love that. I thought it was great.
Oh no, shit! It's starting over again.
Like that show and Robot Wars were good. Like for the first season and maybe 2, but after that it just got repetitive or derivative, and it just wasn't as good. It's a good idea, it just doesn't last for multiple seasons.
No.
But Iron Chef, like the original Iron Chef out of Japan, that was a good show.
It's just like Yoshi's Castle. It's so much better in the original. Actually, no, I take that back. MX Extreme Challenge was pretty.
Yes, MX Extreme Challenge
was fucking amazing.
Okay, MythBusters first original release, January 23rd, 2003. Good Eats original release, July 7th, 1999.
Really?
You are fake news.
I don't have a sounder because I'm not running OBS, but yeah, I would hit the button for the fake.
So
actually,
MythBusters
you know what you could have
is
said
a ripoff of Good Eats.
Could have done the gotcha.
Ha, gotcha. Yeah. I can't really do it because like I said, I'm not running OBS and it would sound really shitty.
It's okay. We forgive you.
Yeah.
But he
hasn't used it yet.
He did a really interesting interview with Google. Like apparently Google pays Alton Brown to come out every year and have a Google chat with them. And he gives them a lot of like really good, really interesting ideas that they failed to incorporate because the last one I saw was like 2013 and I still don't have recipes I can get suggestions for. But yeah, he had said that they ended Good Eat so he could do other things. He wants to do a road trip where, like, because he does book tours and things like that. And he wants to do like going up and down the seaboard, tasting different kinds of foods in different areas, but they won't let him because Guy Fieri has that on lockdown.
Yeah,
like the traveling and eating shit in different places. Like apparently it's a racket and he's not allowed in.
Well, he did a road tour with his bike. He did that motorcycle show that wasn't as good as Good Eats.
Yeah, but was that on the Food Network?
It was definitely on the Cooking Channel. I don't know if it aired on Food Network or not.
Because the Food Network won't let him do it. He looks like a fun guy, but he also looks a little bit pedantic.
Yeah,
he'd yell at you for patting salt on chicken and then grabbing more salt. Like he'd yell at you like, "Until you get bacteria." I'm like, you're not gonna have bacteria growing in fucking salt. But it's like the ethics of cross contamination. That's what he's aiming at.
Yeah, we've got on a subject I know nothing or very little about. I'm comfortable.
We've leveled the field.
Let's talk about guns some more.
Yeah, let's talk about Top Shot.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one since a Chinese guy won.
There was one season
was the last
after that. Yeah. And then it like lost because they got a lot of shit for it.
Well, that's really embarrassing. The least what do I want to say? Like the least
intimidating.
Not experience, but like along I feel like he was only slightly an enthusiast. And he still ended up winning all of Top Shot. Like he owned a pistol and a shotgun. And that was it. Meanwhile, he was beating out one guy was Marine Recon. He was a dick and couldn't do anything. And then a couple of like federal agent-y type people. And,
okay, do you believe that any of the competition shows you watch on TV aren't rigged? Because they're all overproduced. So the personalities you see, I mean, that's a manipulated thing.
Well, I mean, have you ever been to the range? It's actually kind of boring to watch on a camera. Or
yeah,
TV.
I don't really picture Top Shot as being one of those kind because no one would root for somebody who was overly dramatic. This is kind of like a pragmatic group of people. Like they don't want to hear that Joey thinks Glocks for pussies and David only will use a pistol that is made of steel because he's a real man. Like that. That's not the kind of. No one's drinking on the show, so there's not any kind of real drama. Like,
so they
it was
have
very
to church it up to make it watchable. In some
well,
manner,
it's
got to church it up.
It's people shooting guns, bro.
Well, that was the other thing that made it different was there was very little drama on it. It was purely competition. That's what made it hard to watch, I guess.
I mean, the closest thing to a rivalry was the fact that there were teams split up. That was it. But yeah, it's just a gun challenge, and it's mostly about the guns themselves. But I don't think that's one of the ones. Like one of my favorite was watching Last Comic Standing and Gabriel Iglesias getting kicked off for cheating. They made such a big deal about that because it was like, holy shit, someone's cheating. Someone thought to cheat. All right, let's do this. Let's kick him off. Make a big deal out of it. And it was damn near a two-parter just to kick the guy off the show. Whether or not he actually had an ailing mother, which is why he snuck his cell phone on, that's a completely different story. He's still funny.
I didn't watch any of that. Yeah, and I say Gabriel Iglesias is freaking huge, so he didn't need the show. It's like Ralphie May.
Yeah.
Ralphie May was on it too, and he didn't need it.
I think either Nikki Glazer or Amy Schumer ended up winning.
Schumer was on that show?
Schumer. Yeah.
That's pathetic.
Yeah. She was actually kind of funny then, too.
Well, back when Sarah Silverman and she were doing the whole "But My Vagina" act was new and funny, I guess.
She didn't really do the "My Vagina." She did the "I'm a whore."
Yeah.
It was more about her being a whore than it was about her. And that was the thing that was funny is because it was Nikki and her basically doing the same thing, but in different ways that were both mildly funny. And now I can't stand either one of them.
Well, it was fairly well done self-deprecating humor. That was fine. Now it's just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I watched the first season and I still cannot think of the black guy who won it. So, yeah, it didn't really matter to me.
All I remember is that one season, it was either season 1 or season 2, had this Chinese guy that would get all mathematical about the jokes and like put them on a spectrum and graph his shit and stuff like that. And he was never funny, like ever.
There was a show I really liked called Stars Earn Stripes. And it was so freaking racist in reality that they couldn't make another one after it. So they have a wide variety of stars, and these are like fit stars. And I think it was 8 stars and 8 special forces operators. For instance, Chris Kyle was one of the operators, and several other Navy SEALs, Green Berets, and I think a couple of Rangers. And the first 2 people eliminated were eliminated because of a water challenge, and they were both black. But they were the fittest fucking people on the show. It was Terry Crews and that the guy from Biggest Loser, the black guy.
Yeah, wasn't Dean Cain was on that too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got second place. He was teamed up with Chris Kyle.
Yep.
But it ended up he lost to Amy Marie, some wrestling girl who just did better with a pistol than he did. But they got trained by special forces guys, then dropped off in scenarios that they had to target shoot their way through, running and gunning. And they got dropped into they had to swim 75 feet from the water to the land, and that was their exertion before they put their guns up and started firing. And the first guy out was the fitness guy, literally one of the most put together motherfuckers on the show. He was black and couldn't swim.
Yep, I remember that.
So he lost out on that. And then the second time, it was Terry Crews, who was the second most put together physically fit. Like, Terry Crews was a little fatter in the off season, but he was still, he's a hugely muscular guy. He should be able to swim with the 55 pounds of weight or whatever. But yeah, he forfeited, and the seals went in and got him. And then it pretty much, because the chick won, it kind of like ended it for everybody. It was far too reality based to let that go to a second season.
No, it actually got shut down because of like gun politics, I thought.
Yeah, that's probably why they blamed, but the stereotypical black guys not being allowed to swim was probably what it was.
Speaking of
Do you guys-
politics ruining movies and stuff, I was listening to a radio ad for Chappaquiddick, and they had to cite that it was rated R for 2 or 3 reasons, and one of the reasons was "quote unquote" historical smoking.
What?
Yes, so you get an R rating now for movies for having smoking in it.
Welcome to the fucking Puritans, I swear. And I don't even smoke.
Say,
Never mind that.
Isn't this why we left England in the first place?
I thought so, but apparently, the freaking herbivores have decided
Historical
that they know
smoking.
better.
What the fuck? That's the dumbest thing.
Well, not only that, but they make it a, like, you can't have historical smoking in a PG-13 movie, apparently, or a PG movie, or a G movie. So that means, I'm pretty sure characters smoke in Mary Poppins. Does that now make that not a G movie anymore?
Oh, a lot of the old Disney live action films, they all everyone smoked.
Right.
Things.
Well, that was just the thing to do back then.
Yeah. I mean,
according to doctors, it was healthy.
Well, yeah, and trust me, as they didn't want to smoke, because when you're smoking during filming, you can't edit that out without having this basically flaming timer, right, revealing that you had to do edits and whatnot. Like, no director wants smokers.
Well, that's why they always put the cigarette in an ashtray. They don't really hold them unless it's for one take. They always, between cuts and takes, they always put them into an ashtray, so that you can't really tell.
Exactly. They had to do workarounds. Like, now it's a pain in the ass because of so many cuts and whatnot.
But,
do you guys remember, like, the back in the 70s and early 80s, they had Battle of the Network Stars?
I remember those. Yeah, those are great.
Wouldn't that be fun to bring back?
Except there's no Network Stars anymore. We're not on 3 channels anymore. So everybody had that as a cultural touchstone back in the 70s and 80s before. I mean, this is even before Fox was a thing. It was just ABC, CBS, and NBC. And you had your cavalcade of stars, and they just jumped from show to show to show to show. So everybody was familiar with all the network stables.
Telly Savalas was a beast.
You had people like Richard Dawkins and Brett. What was her name? Brett. The one that was on the Match Game. If you ever want a kick in the pants, watch old episodes of the Match Game on, like, the Game Show Network. Holy shit, they were drunk the entire fucking time.
Oh, of course they were.
Of course.
They were drunk and smoking on it.
Yes.
And you want to talk about some wildly inappropriate shit. Look at some of those game shows and some of the shit that they said on there. I mean, it definitely would not fly. And even like a lot of those Disney movies, like, they're all rated G, and it's like some of those from the 60s. I'm pretty sure a lot of that would not. It wouldn't even get. It would be a stretch to say it'd be PG-13 in today's.
Yeah, but they bitched about Lion King recently, man. Like, oh, why is the hyena black and the other one's Mexican? Is it because they're scavengers? Like, fucking Mufasa was black. Calm your shit.
Yep.
It's yeah. And he wasn't black. It was just
everything is
James Earl Jones. Mufasa was black. He was played by James Earl Jones.
So you say.
Yeah, Mufasa was James Earl Jones, but then Then Simba, he was played by Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Matthew Broderick. So, you know.
Yeah.
He's the real.
Who played Pumbaa? I know Timothy Lane was Timon, but who was Pumbaa?
Oh, Paul. Damn it! What's his name? He's from Saved by the
Nathan.
Bell.
I said Timothy Lane. I meant Nathan Lane.
Yeah, Nathan Lane.
From Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, he was. Damn it. No, Ernie Sabella.
All right.
Yeah, Ernie Sabella.
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah, not ringing a bell.
Yep.
He was on frickin' Saved by the Bell.
And Benson was Rafiki. That's what I remember, because frickin' Rafiki was the bomb.
Yep. He was a kick-ass character.
All 5 lines he had.
Yep.
Well, it's like Constantine walked in. We're at a dead air.
Yeah, I know. If we had more topics, I don't know, related to guns, we might be talking more.
Okay, so
I do have a comment that's not gun related.
How long do you think before Hollywood actually starts not having guns in their features?
Oh, they won't.
They won't do it. Dude,
that's impossible.
The biggest liberals play characters who are the most solid Republicans in the world. And they still say, like, well, he had a pretty left bent. And I'm like, no, Ronald Reagan did not have a left bent. Like, well, when he was younger, I'm like, yeah, but you weren't playing him when he was younger. Well, Albert Einstein, he was Jewish. Like, yeah, but he was also German, so we got that going for us. Stop with the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, well, I played Chris Kyle, but it was Chris Kyle from a leftist perspective where he didn't shoot the child.
Then that was historically inaccurate.
Where he wasn't a child murdering freaking Marine. Like, that's kind of funny to me, is that they in the 70s, you watch Rambo, and they're throwing eggs at him and Rotten Tomatoes calling him a child murderer. That was all that left. And now it's nearly 2020, and they're shouting their abortions. Like, you're actually the child murderer now. That's you.
Yes.
In 8 years, we went from it's needed for cases of rape and incest to I don't want my baby burdened with a child young.
Yeah.
In the single span of the Clinton or the Bush administration. It's crazy.
Yeah. I try to figure out exactly what emboldened. And I know a lot of people say Obama, but I mean, what really ramped it up?
Bush.
Obama.
No, it was before that. And Stan, you can back me up on this. The election in 2000, when everybody after Clinton and
Stan voted for Clinton, so I don't trust him anymore.
It was a different time.
It was the Gore.
You voted for the hillbilly. Nice.
And I remember there being a leftist bent of people that were pissed off about how that election went down and swore up and down, just like they did this time around with Clinton. But Gore won the popular vote. But Gore won the popular
that's
vote.
right.
Bush isn't my president. Bush isn't my president. And they were just simpering fuckwads about it. And that's when it all started.
That one was bad. And, I mean, of course, they rarely want to mention that, the fuckwad lost his own goddamn state. And that his own president, wouldn't go and campaign for him. So it's like, yeah, maybe you weren't exactly the best candidate and one of the most devoid of personalities I've ever seen in my
Al
life.
Gore does not have much of a personality at
Oh
all.
my God, he was. I mean, especially when you go. I mean, he was just. Oh my God, like, yeah, it was bad. I don't even know how it was as close as it was, frankly.
Well, in Florida,
Oh yeah,
which everything's coming. Everything goes back to Florida. We just need to cut that fucking thing off and send it off.
No, let's just get rid of California.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Or
that.
separate it into 2 states.
You could take New York City too.
Well,
But
I think
they want to turn it into like 5 states at one point or something like that.
right, but I think the one that's got the best chances of happening is splitting California into 2 states, California and then Jefferson.
Yep.
Which has been proposed. It's been proposed many a times over the last 50 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they can't figure out their nonsense, they're $3 trillion in debt as a state. Can you even imagine that?
According to Hillary Clinton, they're diverse and forward thinking and dynamic.
Yes.
Well,
they are.
What would happen if they
as much in debt as the entire country.
But they're like the 6th biggest economy in the world. That's all that matters.
Yeah, because they're $3 trillion in debt.
Exactly. They make money, but they clearly don't know what the fuck to do with it.
They're basically spending their great grandchildren's money at this point.
Yep.
They're so far in debt.
And if they split it into 2 states, it's basically going to be everything between LA and San Francisco is one state, and then the rest of it's another.
Yeah, it'll be the coast, which will probably stay California, and then Northern California and the Central Valley and the deserts will be Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which will leave California actually more powerful at the federal government, because they'll still have 2 senators, and they'll still have the population that will warrant most of the representatives.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, you guys hear the kerfuffle about the census?
Oh yeah,
and how they're fighting the question of, are you a citizen?
Oh yeah.
Which was literally on the 2000 census. It was only left off of one census, and that was the 2010 census.
It's ridiculous.
No, it's basically just admitting, yeah, we need illegals to bolster our numbers.
Well, yeah. Duh.
Well, and then that begs the question, well, how many of them are voting? And then you've got the fact that California doesn't require an ID to vote, but if you have a driver's license, that works for voter registration, because you're automatically registered as a voter when you get a license. And they give licenses to like 1.2 million illegals.
Color me not shocked.
Yeah. I mean, if you just lay out the facts of how corrupt they are, and then you've still got these blithering idiots of like, there's no proof of voter fraud. There's no proof. Nothing ever shows there's proof. I'm like, you've got to be a goddamn idiot to think that there's not.
Facts are racist.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought we had a bad here in Louisiana. As far as corrupt politicians go.
Sounds like everybody's winding down. The energy has dropped.
Oh, no. I'm still here. Trust me.
Yeah, I just ate, so I'm kind of winding down.
I'm playing Far Cry 5 at the same time, so.
Okay, so just to get you all re-energized with a gun question.
Oh boy.
Calico 500? Calico?
The Calico Arms gun with the cylindrical mag?
Yes, the 22, not the 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
They're a piece of shit. Why?
Why are they pieces of shit?
Because the mag doesn't work. It's an interesting design, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, look, I give it great kudos for forward thinking, but it's a piece of shit.
Okay.
Not to mention, your point of impact is always going to change because your rear sight is on the magazine.
Worked in
Great
time, cop.
design.
It's not on the magazine. No, I was looking at it, and it's actually
Well, if it worked in a Jean Claude movie, that's all I need to hear.
It was braced by the back of it.
The rear sight is on the magazine, though. Sean.
No, it's on the post right where you clip the magazine in. I mean, it's ass up against the magazine, but it's not on the magazine itself.
You sure about that?
I'm positive about that.
I'm double checking this.
Because you're right, it would be phenomenally stupid to put it on a magazine.
Like putting the rear side on an AK hood. Called it.
Yep.
What's that?
Yeah. No, the rear sight is on a Calico 9mm magazine.
On the 9?
Yeah, but it might not be on the 22, though.
Which is the only one worth it.
The 9 or the 22?
22.
The 9.
No.
Because I could see taking because the 22 holds 100 rounds. So you can take it out and just plink with it all like all day.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, the Calico pistol looks like the rear sight is on the magazine. On the M-100P.
No, that's not the one I was talking about. I'm talking about the. It looks like a glorified pistol because it's so damn small, but I'm talking about the rifle.
Yeah, you're talking about the one they use Spaceballs as a stand-in phaser. Yes, I know which one you're talking about. But no, the Calico 9mm, they put the rear sights on the magazine.
Yeah, well, the 9 just gets horrible reviews all around, and doesn't it eject down?
I don't know if it's a downward ejecting bolt or not. That I don't know.
That I don't remember.
Because every review I read about the 9 is crap, but everybody's like, well, the 22 gets shit on because it's too close to the 9, but it's really not that bad, and blah 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 blah.
I mean, if you want funky cool looks and you want shootability, just get a PS90, man. I'm gonna tell you this over and over.
I was looking at it because I could probably pick one up like for pennies on the dollar, basically. For a
but you'd be
gun.
Yeah, maybe. There's some collectors out there that will pay stupid money for that shit. And Calico might be one of those funky ones where they're paying a lot of money. I mean, there's crazy people. A Nambu Type 14 pistol, I think it's a big piece of shit because, well, what kind of stupid idiot puts in the sear on the outside of the weapon where it can be depressed by your thumb? So it can go off very easily.
Hey, they just wanted to make sure you could make it work, even when it was broke.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Yep.
No, I mean, it's crazy. If you think about... I mean, granted, that's a war take-home pistol, but, I mean, those bring crazy amounts of money. If you're wanting something that's cheap and kind of old, just get a Milsurp rifle. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's how I described Josh. Or
what are Nagant's going for now? About 250, 300?
What, Nagant?
Yeah.
You can get them for about... I've seen them as low as 100. I've seen them as high as 300, depending on which one they are. Sometimes higher if it's like an M39 Finnish.
Swedish?
Finnish.
Finish.
No, Finnish.
Yeah, it's Finnish.
You're right. Which is actually a better rifle than the Russian Mosin Nagant because Finland. But you could also look at other ones. You could look at Lee Enfields. You could look at.
Quit pushing the 303.
Hey, can't help it if it's an effective round.
And look, if you just want cheap to bring to the range, I don't know. You could go with probably a high point carbine. That'll work pretty decent.
They do work. They work pretty good. They just have very low round count.
Yeah.
That's the only downside.
But that's why you carry multiple mags. Didn't we learn this from Nick Cruz?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I was going to say, if you want an effective, cheap Plankin rifle, Sean, I know you hate the looks of it, but I mean, dude, just get an AR.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tool around and look for some different things like that 30-30 that Raggle had.
Yeah, if it wouldn't have sold, dude, I'd have got it for you.
That was a sweet buy, especially at that price point.
Hell yeah.
Well, I would have stolen it from you.
Yeah, Jay Fry's notorious for stealing 30-30s.
Yeah.
30-30s.
Just as long as he hasn't talked to you in 10 years, then he'll steal it.
20.
Oh, I'm sorry, 20 years.
Okay, then I'm going to need this backstory because I'm not familiar.
I got I was commenting on some post, some stupid Facebook post because I got back on Facebook after 5 years without Facebook. And it was some Emma Gonzalez or Dingus Hog tweet. And I made a response about no, it was Emma Gonzalez because it had to do with the Cuban flag, and I made a shit comment about the racism involved in the Confederate flag, and then I got accused of stealing a 30-30 from a party house from a guy I hadn't talked to in 20 years, and I'm like, a 30-30? Like you don't steal a 30-30 to sell. I'm like, how the hell do you even steal a rifle? Like you walk out of the house with it down your pant leg? It's a deer rifle. You can steal a pistol relatively easy, but I'm assuming it's a wood-stocked freaking deer rifle. You don't steal those. Those are retarded.
Yeah.
It's like, holy hell, yeah, that's not something I have ever done.
All right, so Sean, what is it you don't like about the ARs?
I don't like their look. I don't like the. I'm a fan of
black and scary.
No, they're black and scary. No, they just look
like they could go off.
I can appreciate their function. I can appreciate what they do. I just think they look shitty, and I couldn't tell you exactly why, but I prefer a sleeker looking rifle. I prefer bigger rounds.
Okay.
A bigger caliber.
Yeah.
I'm prejudicial on them, and I'm not even 100% sure why. I just don't like the way they look.
I had this problem too. I was kind of trying to figure out something. I didn't want it. It's not that I don't like the look. I just wanted something different. Look up the Fight Light SCR. It's a pretty interesting concept they came up with for the lower.
All right, let's pop that up here.
Mm-hmm.
Fight Life, what?
Fight
Light, LITE.
Yeah. Okay. LITE.
SCR.
SCR.
Oh, okay.
It's a California compliant model.
Yeah, it's a Caltech looking son of a bitch. That's what that is.
It's a AR with a 870 stock on it, pretty much.
A broom handle?
Yeah,
am I looking at the right thing?
Remington 870.
More like a Bodor.
But it's also 5.56, which.
Yeah, I know. Once you said that, I was like, well, probably not, but.
You could always go 300 blackout.
Yeah.
You go AR-10.
Schools.
6.5 Grendel.
Dude, the AR rifle design, no matter how hideous it is, it's actually a really good design.
I can't take that away from it. It's very functional. It's modular. You can tweak the hell out of it, but I just don't like it.
Kind of like the P90. Uglier than sin, but it's very comfortable.
Hey. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Sure.
Or, you could always get, so you don't want...
Hera? What about the Hera setup?
Yeah, the Harris setup actually looks good on an AR. It really does. But it's still a 5.56 caliber. He needs an AR-10. Can you make an AR-10 pistol? I think you can, right?
Yeah, it's just not really practical. They're heavy as fuck.
I say you just do.
Really,
I know, Sean.
If I'm going to get a rifle, I'm probably going to get a long barrel 308.
Why not get a bullpup 308?
Yeah, Keltec RDB.
Keltec makes one. The RDB.
That's it.
And you're talking fairly inexpensive for a 308, too.
Does Desert Tech make the bullpup in 308
they
yet?
Do, but they do, but it's like super expensive compared to a Keltec.
Yeah.
You're talking about a $2,300 rifle compared to like a, rifle you probably pick up for about $800-900.
All right.
And the best part is you can use Stanag mags in the Keltec. It's FN. It's FAL mags, FAL mags.
Oh, those are a bitch to find.
No, they're not so bad. You can find them. I'm pretty sure it is. Let me double check.
No, it looks like Stanag. It's definitely a Magpul.
So a DPMS style mag?
And when they start talking like this, Stan, this is where I kind of go dumb because they know all this stuff off the top of their head, and I'm like, yeah.
No, the Keltec RFB. It's the RFB, not the RDB. The RDB is the 5.56.
Oh. I heard Finland. I know what that is. Beyond that, I've just been sitting here.
Yeah, it uses a 10 or 20 round detachable FAL mag.
Oh, son of a bitch! Why not just go with the M1A if you have to go oddball?
Probably because of the rock-in design on the M1A.
That's what I'm saying. It's a bullpup design. It'd be easier to eject if you got to grab it.
The FAL mag is just a drop-free mag, though.
All right.
It makes sense if you want a quick mag change. You just hit the button right by it, drop the mag, put in a new mag. That way you don't have to unrock the mag.
AK mag swap. Just rock that sucker out of there.
Yeah, it's a little bit more tedious when it's back by your shoulder.
Yeah.
You got to reach behind your support hand. Or your main hand. Oh, I know it can be done. I use an AK mag as a device for getting out the old mag.
I use the AK mag just to sleep on as a pillow.
Yeah, well, that's you because you're fucking weird like that, Jay.
It's funny because Henry sent me a Snapchat the other day. He had a AK mag in the back of his truck and a gas pump that just the fucking little set toggle was gone. So he stuck the AK mag in there to make it pump, to make it stay automatically.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
I'm trying to think of what you could get, Sean, that would be fun, that you could have fun with.
You're not going to find anything that isn't heavy as all hell is the problem.
Right.
I mean, do you really have to have a rifle caliber?
Yeah.
What about just an AK?
Yeah.
I had an SKS for a while. I had an SKS for a while. Yeah, I had that for a while, and 7.62 is fun, I guess, but it held 10 on stripper clips, and I put it in a new. I took because it was wood frame, so I took that off and I bought a composite frame for it. But then the magazine I had for it never fit in, and I'm not even quite sure why. My 30 round never fit in. I actually had to hold it in, like there was no back clip to it, so I had to hold it up for it to work, and it was just cheap Chinese bullshit. And I just if I'm gonna get a rifle, I'm gonna get something that can reach out and touch somebody from a distance, and with some impact.
Well, here's the thing: what distance are you planning to shoot out to?
I wouldn't even know. I'm just because a rifle isn't for, as far as I'm concerned. I got my shotgun for home defense. I'm not needing a rifle for home defense. The rifle would be for shit hits the fan, and I need to take somebody out from quarter mile.
The Second Amendment's for hunting. Thank you.
Yeah, hunting assholes.
I will accept that response. No. What am I thinking of that he could get that's cheap that's 308? Oh my god. PTR 91. There you go. Boom. There you go, Sean.
The HK ripoff?
Yeah.
Throw it in the chat. Or yeah, either the chat here or the where's the chat?
It's a delayed roller blowback. It's just like an HK91. There you go.
That's what I was just thinking.
So you're on top of this, Stan.
I knew. I was just thinking, but you beat me
Why
to
couldn't
it.
I think of that?
I mean, come on. It's so obvious.
Well, I mean, if you really wanted to go crazy, you could go the Israeli route and go with the Galil 308.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe try Galil, but I don't know what they're running right now.
We're talking shit hits the fan, bug out level stuff here.
It's Israeli. It's going to work.
Well, not that it's not going to work. It's just going to be when it breaks, I'm not going to be able to find parts. Period.
Then you've got only one choice.
Ooh, dude, what about a Bren?
A Bren?
Same difference.
CC Bren?
Yeah.
They're 5.56.
Don't they?
Well, and
no,
I'm expecting, should the zombie apocalypse happen, I'm going to be relieving some fool of his own AR 5.56. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And judging by the
aces are
traffic
kind of high.
article you posted the other day, it might happen soon. So,
just get a surplus rifle in like 7.62 by 51R, and then wait, and that's how you get your AR eventually.
Don't forget the spam can at ammo if you can find it. Damn, Galils are not cheap. Son of a bitch.
no, they are not.
Not as cheap as I thought, at least.
No,
Well,
Galils are expensive. That's why I was saying you could look at the PTR 91. There's a couple people that make different kits, and I mean they're fairly inexpensive. The problem is it's delayed roller blowback, so therefore you were talking about wanting to find parts. Probably not going to find one. Yeah, well, let me put it to you this way: you can find the PTR 91 for under $1,000.
They're right at $1,000 on Gunbroker.
Yeah, you can find them cheaper if you know where to shop. If you hold out and you look, you can find them cheaper. What I was going to recommend, I mean, if you had to have a rifle caliber, or if you didn't have to have a rifle caliber, you can always buy like a cheap subgun carbine, like a SIG MPX or a CZ Scorpion, something. It's fairly inexpensive, especially in 9mm. The SIG has the advantage of being interchangeable with 40 cal, which I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find fairly cheap, considering the fact that now it's a dead caliber. Just ask J Fry.
I already have a SIG 42.
It's snappy.
Not in a SIG, it won't be. Not in a carbine.
Just everyone talking about it being snappy. I just want to punch everybody in the throat.
Well, here's my problem with it. It can't decide if it wants to be a 45 or a 9mm. That's my big problem.
Well, I think it was meant to compete directly with the 10mm, which I think is fucking
it's a cut down
retarded.
10mm.
Really, it's a short.
Sorry, Jay. Didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
Where'd he go?
Oh, I thought I stole his thunder.
No, I think he dropped out.
Oh, okay, yeah. 40 cal is a cut down 10mm.
Talking about snappy stuff.
the whole reason that they went to the 40 cal is because the 9mm, there was a shootout and they deemed the 9mm ineffective, and then they went to 10mm, and then they found out that agents, shall I say, from a diversity hire of possible female origin couldn't handle the 10mm accurately. So they went and found a solution and cut down the 10mm to a 40 cal.
Give or take, but they really had to create the 40 cal because if there had been a bullet on the market, the only reason they went with 10mm because it wasn't on the market when they picked the gun.
Yeah.
So they had to go with something that had been created afterwards. So they could say, like, well, this wasn't available at the time. We didn't make the wrong decision, but this great bullet hadn't been invented yet. So they created the 40 caliber to use.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're dicks.
Yeah.
Well, I've got that SIG that's both 40 caliber, or if I swap the barrel, a 357 SIG, which is basically.
It could also go to 9mm too.
Yeah,
which is by the 9mm mag.
Right. I mean, the 357 SIG is basically a 9mm round with a 40 caliber charge behind it.
Yeah. It's a caliber that really went nowhere.
Yeah, tell me about it, because even finding ammo is tough, and then when you do, you're paying out the freaking nose for it.
I know who makes ammo for it. SIG makes ammo for it.
And they're about the only ones.
I know.
Wait, for which caliber are we talking about?
357 SIG.
Oh, yeah. Jesus. Probably all of 10 people bought a pistol for it?
Yeah. I'm number 9.
Oh, hey. At least you weren't me. Here's what I did, Sean. I went to a gun show one time, and I went looking for 45 cal ammo, and I thought I got a smoking deal. And I was walking around the gun show with about 500 rounds of 45.
Long Colt?
Worse. GAP.
Oh, Jesus, man. I just lost all respect for you.
No. I immediately went back. I was like, hey, this is GAP. I said ACP. Oh, I'm sorry. I handed you the wrong boxes. Well, here you go. That's about a $10 difference. You handed me the wrong boxes.
Oh, hey, what about HKG3 clone? Century Arms makes them, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. A PTR 91. That's basically what it is.
No, look up Century Arms C308.
Yeah, C308. That's what I needed. A Century Arms. Yeah, they're about $700-800. 308 rifle.
You're killing me, Josh. Oh, I was looking up PTR, like, what the hell is he talking about?
PTR 91. Well, to be fair, the HKG3 was based off the PTR 91 initially. The Germans just kind of refined it.
This is so funny. It's a Facebook post, and it said, it's a PETA related thing. Would people be as comfortable buying meat if the date the animal was killed was displayed alongside the best before date? Like,
I would love to know that. Yeah. I would not know how fresh my meat is.
Yeah, I want that. Thank you, please.
Yes, let's do that.
I'm sorry. Is that supposed to stop us from wanting?
Yes. Supposedly. Or you could just watch Nadim's videos and just go, why? This is why I'm not vegan. This is why I'm not vegetarian.
Did you hear about the chef that carved up a there were a bunch of vegans protesting, and he decided to carve up a deer leg right in the window outside from his restaurant.
Good for him.
Where they were protesting. He got so angry because they were out there all the time. So he just, because I guess his thing is he was more about, that kind of game meat, and he started carving up one, and the vegans were like, they found a policeman and asked if they could stop him from doing that. It's like, he is in his own fucking restaurant, you buffoons. I'm sorry, but you're out there protesting, and he responds, because of course they're calling him murderer and all that other bullshit that they, equate. But yeah, and he just he just took it out and just slapped it on the table right and literally on the other side of the window from where they were protesting. And just, I'm like, that's fucking beautiful.
Have you ever noticed that it's almost always females that are PETA protesters? It's almost never. There's almost no guys.
Well, it's just because they have so much estrogen, it's hard to differentiate.
Yeah. Alton Brown was asked in the Google interview I watched if there was anything he wanted to cook on Good Eats that they couldn't get the green light for, and he said, "Yeah, rabbit." And he explained, yeah, he explained that they wouldn't let him do rabbit because of the thumper. So he goes, he tried to like fight for it. He's like, well, look, I mean, once you skin it, it looks just like a cat.
Oh, shit.
That probably did not go over too well.
That wasn't helpful. Well, literally, if you've ever bought rabbit,
they have to looks like a skinned cat.
Well, they have to leave the kidneys attached to the rabbit. Like when you're buying a rabbit, they leave the kidneys attached to the rabbit because a cat has the kidneys in line, and the rabbit has the kidneys offset. Or vice versa. I don't remember which is which I should look up before I go buying rabbit, I guess. So they
or just buy it alive and see about it yourself. They're not hard. That hard at all to clean.
No, they're real easy.
Yeah, you don't even need a knife.
Just so that
But a knife does help.
Yeah. You don't even need a gun. You could just hit it with your car. It's good. So they wouldn't let him do a rabbit stew.
Who needs the car? I got a dog that'll chase him all day long. Yeah, in response to that PETA post, you can just tell him, I live on the farm. I still kill my own meat, so.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that was it. He also had a question about fresh versus frozen. And he made this like really shitty comment like, well, you're from California. You grow all the food. I'm like, Google grows none of the food, Elton. There are no gardens in LA. Go fuck yourself.
No,
but yeah, the
Central Valley,
the rural.
Yeah, I heard there's tons of gardens growing by the LA River.
In the cement?
Yes. It's mostly weeds, but that's beside the point.
One particular
the riverbed cement. Yeah. It's not even a river. But yeah, they so it's like
it's a river of shit.
You suck up. All right, put a bullet in the stream. I'm done.
Everybody's petering out.
Oh,
we have literally I think Cindy's the only one watching besides us. So we're gonna say goodnight, Cindy, so that these guys on the East Coast can go to bed. Everyone say goodnight to Cindy.
Good night, Cindy.
All right, I'm hitting the button.